Hi, I'm Pam Bennett, horticulture educator for Ohio State University Extension, and I'd like to share with you some ideas for holiday decorating using the plants that you have in your landscape. Let's start with this first group here of spruces. Now, spruces are the most common plants, most common evergreens that we have in our landscapes in Ohio. Most people recognize spruces because they're a little prickly or they'll stick you. This is a Norway spruce and this is a blue spruce. They have great color, but they don't necessarily hold their needles very long in the home. So once you cut them and bring them in, you only might want to use them for about 7 to 10 days. The next one that people really like, because they have very soft foliage, soft needles that don't stick you, is the fir. The Fraser fir and the Douglas fir are very common trees used for Christmas trees. They're very soft needled and they hold their needles quite long. However, they're not commonly found in Ohio landscapes because they require a really well-drained soil. I like using landscape plants so much that I go to the garden centers in the spring with the idea of looking for plants that I can use for holiday trim or holiday cuttings or holiday decorations. The next group of plants would be the pine trees. These are fairly commonly grown in Ohio, and we have two different types here. This is a white pine, a longer needle, a softer needle, and this is a Scotch pine, a little bit shorter needle. Now, the most important thing about cutting pines from your landscape, or pine trimmings from your landscape, is that pine trees have terminal buds. Spruces, on the other hand, you can cut just about anywhere on the plant and it won't hurt it. But with pine trees, with that terminal bud, there's no buds up and down this stem. So once you make a cut, wherever you make that cut, nothing else is going to grow. So the best thing to do is when you make a cut this branch all the way back to the next stem or the main branch. As you see what we did with this one, we cut this all the way back to the main trunk. And when you're making your cuttings of any of your evergreen or landscape plants, be inconspicuous. Cut little places where you're not going to see or not going to notice that you've made cuttings. Another group of plants that's commonly grown but not so commonly used in decorations are the Arborvitaes. These are very soft, they have nice soft needles, and you have a couple different kinds. This is just your typical green Arborvitae, and this one has a gold tip, so it gives you a little bit extra color. The other group of plants that I love, but most people don't like because, again, just like the spruces, they're kind of prickly, are the junipers. Now the junipers, again, can be cut just about anywhere along the stem. They have a nice fragrance, in my opinion, and you've got your typical green junipers, and you also have some like the Gold Coast or Old Gold that have this yellow color to it. I really like the junipers because, as you can see in this particular arrangement, they have nice berries, and those berries have a great fragrance. Now, those are most of the evergreens that are commonly grown in Ohio. There are some broadleaf evergreens that can be used as well. This is a boxwood. Boxwoods and other broadleaf evergreens don't hold their foliage that long in the house. So again, if you're going to cut them, do about 10 days in the house, and that's about as long as they're going to last. The other option is use what's called an anti-desiccant or a type of spray that will kind of keep the moisture in the leaves so they don't drop. Now, if you don't have a lot of evergreens, think about some of your deciduous plants. We have quite a few different deciduous plants that have nice branches rather. This is a red twig dogwood, there's yellow twig dogwood, there's hairy lauder's walking stick, which has contorted foliage. And if worse comes to worse, look at some of your shrubs, take some of the twigs and just use red, gold, silver spray paint and stick those in decorations as well. So here's a great assortment. Make sure when you're using them, you prune them properly and enjoy them in your home for the holiday season.